What's up, guys? How's it going? It's Matt here. So this is actually going to be more of a briefer video. Right now, Hurricane Irma is getting pretty intense. I know I actually have several followers that have actually already been hit by it over in Puerto Rico and whatnot. And I've been watching it and following it, and right now, according to all the models, Noah's over here with me. Now, right now, according to all the models, it's pretty much almost missing all the mainlands of the islands, and it's coming in a direct hit at Florida, and by the time it will reach Florida, it'll be either Category 4 or a Category 5. They're saying Category 4, some have said Category 5. So I wanted to get into this a little bit, guys. So I actually have experience with hurricanes. I live in Connecticut. We got hit a couple years ago by one. We've been hit several times by hurricanes. Growing up, I've been hit by hurricanes too. So I just wanted to share a few tips that might be able to help you guys out. Now, the very first tip, guys, this is more important than any other tips that are out there. This is important, all right? A hurricane of this magnitude, all right, when the state says get out, that means get out, okay? You guys need to get out. It is not going to be safe when this hurricane hits landfall. It is not going to be safe. You need to get as far away from it as you can. Your house, you have insurance, you know what I mean? Please get out. If they say to get out, there's a reason behind it, so please get out. For those of people who aren't going to get out, unfortunately, there are going to be some people that refuse to. I'm going to do a couple things that might be able to help you out. Now, first thing that I always do whenever the hurricane's coming is first I take a look at the surroundings around the house. All right, yeah. The last hurricane we got hit, I don't remember the name of it, was a couple years ago. We were actually living in Cromwell at the time, Cromwell, Connecticut. And we had a very, very massive oak tree, old oak tree, right outside of the house, and at the slant of the angle, it was basically aiming directly at the house. If it would have fallen, it would have fallen directly into the upstairs bedroom, in my bedroom. So what I decided to do is, my wife actually had to go out of town during this. She actually left about a week. Oh, jeez. My wife, he was playing with my tape. My wife actually had to get out of town about a week prior to it on a business trip. She does a lot of veterinarian stuff, and she has to go to extended studies, or whatever they call them, as different schooling, and a lot of times it's usually held in different states, and she had to go one of these things, and it was right around the time the hurricane was going to hit. So she was actually out of town, so it was basically just me home with Abby and Nathan. Noah wasn't you know, even a twinkle in her eye yet, I guess you could say that. But what I did on that day, specifically because of that oak tree, is I took everyone and we stayed downstairs in the safest place we possibly could, away from that tree if that tree fell. A couple other things that you're going to want to take into consideration, not just the power lines and everything else, that's just common sense, trees, power lines, all that stuff. But one thing that you're also going to want to take in mind, or keep in mind, is more than likely you're going to lose power. Most people know that too. Now, another thing that, I was playing with my headlamp. Another thing you really need to keep in mind is water, all right? Water. What we would always do is you could rush to the grocery store if you're gonna stay, which I don't recommend. You could rush to the grocery store and you will find empty shelves right now because people are freaking out, people are panicking. It's already too late to start prepping, all right? What we would do is, first I bleached out the bathtub, I cleaned it prior to everything, then I rinsed it out thoroughly, and then I actually filled the bathtub up to the top, put the plug in, and let it sit just in case something did happen and we would have water. Because if your water shuts off and all the other stuff, there's like main leaks. A lot of times toilets don't work, right? If there's not main water issues. So you need the gravity of, you know, water to actually flush stuff down the toilet, because you don't want it sitting in the toilet, right? So you're gonna want to keep your bathtub full. Another reason for that is it is a lot of water that you can fit in the bathtub. So you can, shining my headlamp at me. So you can drink that water. I still would recommend you boiling it, and a lot of people aren't going to have power, and even if you have gas, your gas may be shut down. So what I do, I always have a metal Coleman stove on standby. I always have a Coleman stove on standby, and I'm no stranger to the brush either, so I know how to create fires and fire pits if I absolutely need to. But I usually have a Coleman stove, which you can just pick up at Walmart. I don't know if any are going to be in right now, but that usually helps me boil the water. you can do the fires outside and stuff like that. You have to find the dry wood and all that stuff. It's going to be harder after hurricane. But anyway, let's move on. Fill up your bathtub with water, guys. That will help. I don't know how many gallons can fit in a bathtub, but it is a lot of water that can fit in a bathtub. Now, if you do, guys, if you have a cooler or a couple coolers, we actually have a separate freezer that actually keeps stocked up with about 2 weeks worth of food, of meat and stuff like that. I keep it frozen all the time in there. If you don't have a freezer like I have, you keep shining this light at me. If you don't have a freezer like I have, you need to figure out some place that you can store ice, whether it's a cooler or whatever it is, and store ice so you can put meat in there, all right? Because the meat will go bad. Now, right now, if you run to the stores, you are going to find empty shelves of canned goods. You are going to see people throwing elbows at each other to get the water, to get the canned goods, to get all the stuff that they can easily consume. So it is going to be tough right now to do that. You can still try to get that stuff if you can, but you don't know what's going to happen. So what you're going to need, like I said, is something that you can throw ice in, and something that you can keep your meats cool or the foods cool for a couple days, at least a couple days. It might take a little while, but a couple days might help a little bit, all right? Once again, guys, if they are telling you to evacuate, get the hell out, okay? Because what's gonna happen for the people that choose not to evacuate when they're being told to evacuate is there is going to be rescue operations that'll have to go into these areas due to flooding, due to the hurricane aftermath, due to the damage. And now you are putting other people's lives in danger to save your life. And you guys are going to be stuck on your roof with all the flooding, asking for help for every single helicopter that goes by. So please, please, please get out, okay? Escape, okay? Get north. I'm pretty sure I've been hearing that there's some airlines that are actually doing specials like $99 tickets to anywhere. I think said JetBlue is one of the airlines doing it. I think American Airlines is doing it too down there. So if you can, guys, jump on one of these planes and go. Now, another thing, because this is a gun channel. I know, thank you. This is a gun channel, right? So most people that are going to be watching this channel probably own guns. Guys, if you own guns, you're going to have to do two things. You're either going to have a serious heavy-duty safe that you're going to have to lock them up in, or you're going to have to take them and get them out of the state, or get them out of the danger area. Because what will happen, and it always happens, you can see it, what just happened in Texas, is people leave their guns because they leave last minute and they realize they got to go because of floodwaters, and then the looters come, all right? And when the looters come, they break in and they're looking for a couple things. Your stuff, like TVs or whatever stuff made through it, and guns. That's what they're looking for. So if you have firearms, you need to lock them up in a heavy duty safe or in a special area where they can be locked up and no one can gain access to them. Otherwise, you're gonna have to load them up in your trunk and move them to a place where, if you are evacuating, take them with you, but you are going to have to move them to a place where they cannot be looted or stolen and then used against you or other people. So that's another important thing. There are going to be some evil people out and about at the aftermath. The soulless looters love emergencies. They love the anarchy. It gives them a chance to get whatever the heck they've always wanted without having to pay any money for it or anything else. So they don't care who you are. They don't care who your family are. These people that are, some people actually specifically stay in these hurricane areas just so they can go looting afterwards. So with that in mind, if you are staying in the area, be ready to defend the lives of yourself and your family, because these sons of bitches will come after the aftermath. Law enforcement will be shut down. It will be a temporary without rule of law, WROL, which means these gangsters, these thugs, will come around after the hurricane and they will be looking for trouble, they'll be looking for you, and they will do whatever the heck they want. Whatever evil things they want to do, they're going to do it. They are violent, they are sadistic, and they are going to do some things that we don't even want to talk about. So if you are staying in the area, you better be armed at all times. And I'm seriously armed at all times. When the hurricane is over, I'm talking seriously, long guns. Get your long guns out if you're in these areas that the looters are in. Now I want to say this one more time. If they say to evacuate, get the hell out. Your house, your stuff, your crap, is not worth the lives of you and your family. So please, please, please get out. You know, those are the only tips I can really give you right now, guys. From my experience, hurricanes are intense. I mean, when you're inside, you hear it screaming as you're going outside. Luckily, when we got hit, it had been bumped down to either a category 2 or 3. Still screaming, trees were getting ripped up left and right, branches were slamming into the house. You could hear stuff hitting the house. You could hear, you know, we lost power for a little while. You know, hurricanes are intense. They're kind of scary. All right, I've been through a couple of them in my time. The last one we had a couple years ago was just one of them. And growing up, I've been through several other ones too. I remember just watching out and literally watching tree branches just snap off. One of our front porches when I was a kid actually got ripped off due to a hurricane. I don't remember the name of the hurricane. So hurricanes are intense and they are dangerous, guys. So when that hurricane comes, the strength of it comes, if you didn't leave the area and you decided to stay inside. Stay somewhere safe, all right? Stay at a place where the shrapnel cannot hurt you. Shrapnel, where the debris cannot hurt you, all right? Anyway, guys, I just wanted to throw out some tips there to my followers because I know I got a lot of subscribers now, and I know a lot of you are down in Florida. I have family down in Florida too. I have family and friends down in Florida, actually. So our prayers are with them, and we're talking to them, and they're trying to get out of the state right now. One guy is deciding to stay, and I'm just telling him, dude, you gotta go, but he's not leaving. So for my friends and my family out there, our prayers are out there with you. For everyone else, if you're in the area, please evacuate if you can. If you can't evacuate, do what you can. I hope these tips can help. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about me, and remember, it's our responsibility to take care of each other and protect each other. Peace.